Hey guys, welcome to the oldwisemen.com. So today we're going to talk about hard work pays off. So what is your hard work story? So we all have stories about work, some hard work, some not so hard work, right? So what's your hard work story? I want to share a story with you. I was working in a steel plant when I was in my 20s, and I was a welder actually, and worked in a steel plant, 110, 120 degree weather. It was hot outside, especially when you're welding. So think about it, when it's in Phoenix, Arizona, when it's 110, 115, and you're under a welding hood, you just crank it up another 10 degrees. It's like 125 degrees under that hood. It is really, really tough work. And that's what I chose to do as a young man. I didn't finish college. It took me 5 years to go through high school. That's a whole nother story for another time. But so I kind of had to come up the hard way. I had to work hard. And so I learned that at a young age. By golly, 5 years through high school and working in a steel plant, I knew what was in front of me. And so because I had so much to prove to my father when I was young, because he was a Stanford graduate and graduated from college, obviously, from Stanford, World War II hero. And I just felt like, you know what? I'm just going to have to work my tail off to show my dad that, you know, I can do it through hard work. So my hard work story is in that steel plant with a friend of mine, Roy Albright, and he was a welder as well. And we had these 17-foot tapered beams. They were tapered, and they would take weld that whole 17 foot. So on two sides. So Roy would start at one end up here, I would start down here, and we would just crank up our welders and we would be welding those tapered posts and we'd pass each other. And so we kind of created a game. He was a hard worker as well. And I remember that the quota that was given to us was, you're going to have to weld 24 of these tapered posts in a day. And so I said to Roy, I said, why don't we kind of figure this thing out? Let's crank it up. Let's try to do one every 10 minutes. That's 6 an hour. That's 48 a day. That doubles it. And so we didn't know, and then we said after every 10 minutes, you know, so when we had to put a clock up there, right? So you got 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So we did, man. We cranked the machines up and we started just welding away. And the next thing you know, we were really, really putting them out. We were putting 6 an hour out. And all they asked us to do was to put 3 an hour out. So I remember this. So what we would do is you were allowed 2 breaks a day, right? A break between breakfast and lunch, a 10-minute break, smoke break or whatever, and then a 10-minute break between lunch and quitting time. So what we'd do is that if we were ahead of time, so if we finished at 25 minutes and we had 5 minutes, we'd take a smoke break. We'd sit there and it used to just irritate our foreman. What are you guys doing? You're not on break. And we're saying, hey, and I can say Dick because that was his name. And I said, Dick, I said, look, we're doubling the quota. He said, it's not break time. Get back to work. That was some great leadership. That's another story for another time. But the point is that Roy and I cranked it out through hard work. And what was interesting, there were some other situations within that steel plant that I kind of created some machinery on how to do things faster, and it really ticked Dick off. And through that, it really upset him. And so what was really interesting is over the years, through that hard work, when Dick went on vacation 1 year, I think it was a year or so afterwards, he went on vacation. He comes back, and the gentleman that owned the company told me to kind of take over the shop, and I was kind of dumbfounded, but he gave me the opportunity to run the shop because of my hard work. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Thomas Jefferson said that. I kind of checked out some old quotes, but my dad was always the one that would tell me that. And he would just say, son, if you just work hard, the luck is going to go your way. So what does the Bible have to say about that? So here we go. Let's get back to the manual. So what does God say about hard work? So let's go to Proverbs 6:6. We're going to talk about the ant. And go to the ant, O lazy one. Observe her ways and be wise, which having no chief overseer or ruler, she prepares her food in the summer and brings in her provisions of food for the winter in the harvest. How long will you lie down, O lazy one? When will you arise from your sleep and learn self-discipline? 10. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to lie down and rest. So poverty will come like an approaching prowler who walks slowly but surely. Oh, I love these verses. Let's go to Proverbs 10:4. 10:4 said, Poor is he who walks with a negligent and idle hand, but the hand of the diligent makes him rich. Okay, here's the one I really like. It's simple because I'm simple-minded, right? He who tills his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless things lacks common sense and good judgment. That's good stuff. That's a nugget to take home. Let's read that one again. He who tills his land will have plenty of bread. What's he saying? You get out there and work your tail off, you're going to have food to eat. But he who walks worthlessly, things lack common sense and good judgment. Guys, this is good stuff. Pick it up. Read it. When you're talking about work, when you're talking about what you need to do. So I'm going to go back. I was the first one there, and that when I took over the leadership role, I made sure that I was the first one there at 6 a.m. and the last one out of there at about 4:30 or 5 every night. I wanted to make sure that my guys knew that I was the first one there and the last to leave. So let me ask you this. Are you the first one there and the last one to leave? Seriously, it doesn't make any difference whether you work at a Wendy's or a coffee shop or whatever. Why can't you be the first one there? Because if you're the first one, just try it for a week. Just try to go there for a week. Be the first one there and the last one to leave. And then just see what happens. So I tell you, it's just fun to share these stories with you. And then also with my grandkids and my other family members, stories of my life. So thank you, and we'll see you next time for the rest of the story.